welcome to our channel. This is Nina.
And I'm Steve.
Today's adventure is
skydiving. So last year, for Nina's birthday, we decided that we would go skydiving. And it was something that she had wanted to do for many years, and I was kind of scared, so we didn't do it for a long time. We thought last year was the year. So for today, we're going to share a video with you where we talk about how the experience was, what you can expect if you're going for your first time, and some choices you can make to make the most of the occasion. So the first thing you need to know is that we went tandem skydiving. Now, tandem skydiving is the kind of skydiving where you have a coach and they are attached to you by straps and stuff on your back, and their job is to do all the parachutes and to figure out how to angle you so you're falling in the correct direction, and basically to keep you alive. The thing you need to know about tandem skydiving and its history is that it was first founded by lawyers. As soon as you arrive at one of these places, you get an SAT booklet worth of forms and waivers to fill out. And this is basically to make it very clear that in the event of your untimely demise, no one in the world is responsible for your body. So, you have an emergency contact that needs to know where you are and what you're doing and how you're dying. You have a whole list of waivers that say like your estate, your heirs, your parents, your business partners, your legal friends, your dog. No one can sue the company, no one can sue the airline, no one can sue the pilot, no one can sue the manufacturers of the equipment, no one can sue the guy that delivers the mail. No one can get sued, basically. And if you're all okay with that, then you can sign the bottom line and get ready for the next step. That was a lot. How did you feel about all that?
I feel it's the scariest part for skydiving, because like your imagination kind of go wild once you're like reading this signing your life away terms. It's pretty scary for me. Yeah,
it may be scarier than actually skydiving.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, quick notes. If you do die, you want to make sure that you're comfortable enough, right? So wear something comfortable. Number two is don't dress too trashy because this may be your forever suit as a ghost. Number three is don't dress too slutty because in case you die and go to heaven, you don't have to explain like all the stuff. They're like, what's this about? And you're like, and then step four is, probably like an Adidas tracksuit, It's, comfortable, relatively stylish. Adidas, talk to us about sponsorship opportunities. We have a great poll, and they're not many people, but they're the absolute best. And so, Nina, do you have any other notes about how to dress?
Yes, I actually called them to make sure I dress correctly. So, and they told me to dress like as if you were taking trash out on a cold day. So I dressed like, underneath is a thin sweater, then outside is a down coat. But my down coat is a little bit long and it's like reach my knee kind of. Before we about to board the plane, and they told me I cannot to dress my coat. I assume it's because like my coat is like fluffy and long, so itself can act as like a small parachute, so it would change the aerodynamic and it's be difficult for the person to steering the direction.
Yep, so no coat for you.
It's very cold. So remember to dress warmly and comfortably.
Yep. The weather and the timing of the actual jump is very variable depending on the weather and the timing. The timing of the jump depends very closely on the conditions in the air. So you might find that you have an appointment at 11 o'clock and you get there and they're looking at the sky and the cloud cover and the winds, and they're thinking all their specialized knowledge about how these things work, and they'll say, oh, we can't jump right now, you have to wait. So it's not like getting an appointment to get your hair cut or something. The times are not lined up, and sometimes you're at the mercy of the fates. If you can research the area around there, and if they say, look, probably 2 hours, we'll check again, but we're not going to jump in these conditions, you at least know you can go someplace else and have something to eat or a chat or something. You might be there on the ground, and you can also, if you want to kill time with the other jumpers and the staff, and you want to hear all their old war stories about jumping and doing this and that, I'm sure they are very fascinating people that you probably haven't met before. So very cool. So Nina, how much did it cost for us to go and do this trip?
Per person is $200, and if you want a photo and a video as a package, So you don't need to worry about like how much per photo, right? So it's $135 for the whole package. So in total is
$335 per person.
Yes.
So yeah, you're just
it's not cheap, but if it's a thing you want to do and you only like the most of us only do this once in your lifetime, so you just better go all in. And it's a memory to look back to, and also like us now we can still use this as material, but back then we did not think of like doing a YouTube channel or anything.
A week later we were looking at the links they sent us and we're like, oh okay, we have these videos now.
Yes.
I mean, like, yeah, we remember it still. We haven't forgotten it yet.
No,
but
there's no way.
We spent the money and we're like, what are we doing with these videos? I guess we'll just like look at them again. Yeah, anyway, it's much better to put on YouTube. Now, you are dressed appropriately. The conditions are right. You've paid your money and signed your life away. And you're ready to go. So what happens next? They'll give you a brief training to explain how to hold your body when you're jumping out of the plane and when you're in the free fall, what to do. Then the tandem instructor will open this little like lead parachute. It's not the full parachute that slows you down. It just keeps you falling in the right direction and stabilized. Right. And then if you bought a video package, this is where the videographer like comes out of the sky with his like mask on. He's like, do a bunch of stuff. And you know, you're like hanging out. And you know, I didn't really realize like we didn't work out beforehand like when to start doing stuff, because they want good footage too where you're like going woo, going crazy and stuff. And like we just didn't figure that out. So like I completely wasn't sure like what the timing was. So I was just like there like okay, hey, yeah, you're falling too, nice. And then by the time he was like, you know, ready to pull his parachute, I was still like, okay, like kind of there. So it was really silly. And so yeah, so my video actually looks super boring. And
I think nobody looks nice wear those like.
Oh yeah, you have these eye protectors, visors, and
your face is just like
smushed out. And all the pros have these like slick masks on that look like, you know, motorcycle helmets, and so they look awesome. And you're just like, the weird dumb guy that's in the bottom, like. Urgh.
So the tip is, if you got those helmet, just bring your own.
Yes, when you fall, and then after you've done a couple of seconds, or I don't know, 10, 20, 30 seconds of free fall, they'll open their parachute. Whoosh, you get pulled up, and then you drift. And if you have a good coach, they'll, you know, talk to you a little bit and point out what you can see from way up high. And my guy was like that, and it was pretty neat to see all the things. Nina's coach was like,
my guy is not.
He's just too stoic, like strong, silent type. But then, like, you know, that was kind of boring. And you're just like, okay, I guess I'm in the air now.
Yup, and it's super cold.
Yep. So we landed, and we lived. You can tell.
We survived.
We survived.
Yes.
We're not. This isn't a haunted YouTube channel, right? So basically, yeah. So we you know, took off the gear. We thanked everybody. We got a nice certificate, and then we said our goodbyes and went home. And then a funny thing happened. We came home that day, and after putting our jackets in the laundry room, we entered the house.
Not the laundry room. It's messy. Don't show it.
Okay. Instead, we entered through the front door. And as we entered the house, you know, we were just coming back in the safety and comfort of our home. Our physical bodies were on the ground, but it felt like our spirits were still falling somewhere in the world. And we locked eyes, and I realized, well, Nina, you looked like you were about to cry. I realized that you were in shock. So we did what anyone would do in this situation. We threw a pillow down on the living room floor and laid down and stayed there for about 20 minutes till it felt better. Our experience with this is like, we actually, you know, we skydived, we did it, we had the time, we did the things. We didn't really feel afraid at any point. No, at no point in the plane were we like, you know, tell the nice people to bring us back down with the plane, you know. We both were pretty committed to doing it, you know, the whole time. And we were both like, you know, ready.
But it's like not really like feel excited or
like I don't know if other people, because you know, typically here's what happens: someone goes skydiving and then they tell you about it, or you ask about it, or somehow you hear about it, and then they are like, well, skydiving changed my life, it opened my eyes, everything's different, the world's fresh and new, I can't believe all these wonderful things I've gotten. And, you know, maybe that's true for some people, but it just wasn't true for us. And maybe, like, some people do get, like, a exhilarating high from that adrenaline or from being way up there. But for us, we just realized that the whole thing was, like, just slightly traumatizing. And, you know, we both came from away from it thinking, like, we skydived. It's kind of messed up, you know? Like being a human, like, falling out of the sky and then, like, not dying.
Not die? You
Well, no, it's just weird. It's just weird. Like, something just weird about it. Like, people weren't meant to fall that long or something. So, I don't know. It just, like, totally fried us, you know, in some level.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so, like, I don't think, looking back, like, I'd still do it. I still want the experience to try it.
Definitely worth doing.
And I didn't learn a whole lot about myself other than that I just liked the ground. And I like being in control of my own body. Like, I don't mind going skiing and doing things that are a little dangerous or that have, like, fast speeds. You know, that's cool. But, like, I like kind of, like, being in charge of it. But when you're just, like, doing something crazy and you're completely out, you know, the controls in someone else's hands or whatever, like, I don't know. I just the kind of animal I am, I guess, right? Yeah, that's the basic idea. That was our experience. It's cool to do. I recommend it. I don't think it's for everyone in terms of, like, making it like, oh, this is something I have to do to, like, really get the most out of life, you know? It's interesting to do. Well, folks, that was our adventure. That's all the time we have for today.
Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe.
Mm-hmm. And if you also went skydiving and you want to tell us about your trip, please leave it in the comments below. If you had the same experience, we'd love to hear about it, because, you know, this is not the story most people tell when they go skydiving. If you had a great time skydiving, like, oh, you guys are idiots, you gotta go back up there and do it again until it feels good, because it will, then we can get a big old-fashioned YouTube fight in the comments section. You and me. I'll do it. Or if you have other questions, you know, feel free to post them and we'll get to you. And that's the wrap. So thanks and goodbye.
Bye, guys.